That's from a show called Hymns and Myths. And there's a line that says, maybe faith is only hoping we can arise anew. Interesting line. Is that all there is to faith? Maybe hoping something might happen. The whole chapter from the book of John that John shared with us is filled with questions for us about faith. What is faith? What is truth? How do we proceed in life when everything and everybody seems to be turning against you? Anybody had one of those weeks where it's like, oh, or one of those years? One of those lives? Maybe? Our elder brother had to go through his final week before his execution going, one more thing. The fig tree has no figs. They're selling things at the temple. I'm not happy. This is not going well for me. Our philosophy here at Spiritual Arts Center is that no matter who you are, what you do, what you believe, what you don't believe, what your specific forms of physical incarnations are this time around, black, white, brown, mixed, male, female, neither, both, gay, straight, bi, trans, none of the above, differently able, used of all of our faculties, and any combination thereof. No matter how or what we call ourselves this time around, we are at core spirit. And therefore, we are not of this planet originally. These are all attributes that we have as physical human beings for as long as we are here on the planet. These are things that we have to work with as we are doing the spiritual work as well. Your life didn't originate here. Your existence is not a fluke of nature, and the universe is not a cosmic accident. You and I are divine beings here on planet Earth for however long we need to be here to get what we came to get. The lessons that we need to move forward on the spiritual path. We are truly divine creations having a human experience, having a human journey. At this moment in your eternal life, you are currently, again, fully divine and fully human. We forget in New Thought the human part. We keep trying to avoid that part. We keep trying to get around it or trying to figure out how to eliminate it. But there is no eliminating it because that's part of the equation. That's part of what we're doing here. How many of us find this human journey to be an easy ride? Put your hand up. How many of us can really say that living this human journey is really kind of a breeze? Like, yeah, I New York, please. No? Okay. You know, I think I've met maybe 2 or 3 people max in my entire life who think that life is just a bowl of frickin' cherries. There's somebody who used to go to uptown when I was there. They said, I don't know why I keep talking about unhappy childhood. Mine was great. I said, you and 3 other people on the planet. Well, I just don't understand what the problem is. Like, you are blessed. You are blessed. I was a woman I met years ago, a very wealthy woman who told me that she was taking this lifetime off. From all the difficult lifetimes that she had had, just to have a ball in this one. And you know what? It's true. She was wealthy. She said, I'm wealthy, I'm gorgeous, I have great kids, a fantastic husband, I have a fun career in the arts. I am so blessed, aren't I? I am having the time of my lives. She said, I know the next one's going to be a little more difficult. But this one, I chose to have fun. So that can happen. That can happen. But for most of us, we're still going through it. Most of us have a combination of successes and seeming failures. We have health and illness. We've got success and lack. We've got good relationships. And we've got dating in New York. I'm a child of God. I'm a child of God. I'm a child of God. Why don't they know this? I am a child of God. Damn it. But since we are fully human, fully divine, why does the human part seem to dominate so much, so often? If we're both, why does this human thing keep doing it and getting in the way of this wonderful, divine, perfect, wonderful being that I am? There's a terrific clue in the reading that John shared with us. John chapter 18 is kind of like the penultimate episode of Downton Abbey, where lots of build-up and exposition are leading us up to a really great finale next week. So what happened? Judas just betrayed Jesus. Jesus is arrested and brought to the high priest for questioning. Now, in the meantime, this is very cinematic, actually. When you read this, it really does read like a film treatment. So Peter's outside the gate. Jesus is inside. And he's just hanging out, waiting for what's going to happen. And a woman says to him, "Aren't you one of his disciples?" And Peter says, "No." No, wrong Peter. Then Jesus is sent to a higher priest, apparently. He keeps going up to all these different priests. And the writer of John goes back to the scene with Peter again. They cut back and forth to the different scenes. And they ask him again, "You're with Jesus, right?" "Not me." No. And then the slave says to him, "But I saw you in the garden with him earlier." And he says, "That wasn't me." Or Jesus Christ Superstar, "I don't know him." Hey, what? And then the rooster crowed after the third time of denying him, as Jesus said, "You're going to deny me 3 times, and the cock will crow." And it happened. Now, Peter, in Bible metaphysical interpretation, represents our faith. It's a growing understanding of the truth of who we are, but this faith is kind of wishy-washy. Has great intentions and then it pulls back. It has great intentions, then it pulls back. If we've been doing the work at all, we know that God is stronger than our fears. God is at work, and I am being led perfectly by my heart to do what I need to do. And we forget it and give our power away as soon as somebody shows up who is doubting it. Remember when Jesus was walking on the water, and great story, by the way, but Jesus was walking on the water, and he said, "Oh, that looks like fun." So he gets out of the boat and he walks towards him. What happens? What does he do? He looks down. He went, "Oh my," and then he falls into the water. Faith is great in the beginning, and it realizes I'm walking on water, and I'm going to drown. Moving to New York is great. I can do that, and I look and I say, "Oh my God, look how big the buildings are. Oh my God, everybody wants the same job. Oh no," and then we fall down. How many people are at this audition? "This will never happen. This is not going to work. I should go back to Ohio." Forget about it. Peter is right there when Jesus is arrested, but he's so afraid of being arrested himself. He denies his best friend in the world. Faith in us is great here on Sundays. We have more faith here on Sunday. Oh my gosh, of course I can do that. Of course I know that. During meditation time, at classes, at retreats, at workshops, talking with your friends who are also in church. Oh yeah, that's great, it's wonderful. But not so much on a date. Or at work, when your boss is telling you something you may not like. Or opening your bank statement. I thought I had so much more than that. Or with our self-worth. We get the fully human part very easily, but have real difficulty with the fully divine as well. Someone I counseled many years ago told me that she just didn't have faith that anybody could ever love her. I asked her why. She said, "Look at me." So I'm seeing a woman sitting in front of me who was attractive, she was sweet, she was funny, she was a great person, and I wasn't understanding what she was saying. I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Who could love this?" It broke my heart. Because she's wonderful and terrific, and everybody knows her, knows that she is. She said, "I'm 40 years old, and no man wants somebody this old." 40. And she said, "And they all eventually leave me for somebody younger." Her faith was in the fact that nobody could love this old bag of 40. And if they did, they wouldn't for very long. I had her work on the idea, the divine truth of who she is, that there is no age for a divine being. Age is a number. Sometimes people say, oh, you don't look your age. I said, yes, I do, because this is my age and this is how I look. Out at Lincoln Center once, somebody said to me, what are you, 48? I said, I'm 40. So thank you. Faith went out the window. Now I have to go talk. And my knees began creaking as I was walking. So I had this woman work on the idea that there is no age in a beautiful child of God. Eternally alive beings that we all are. Now, we do get older the longer we're on the planet. This is extraordinarily true. I can age, but I don't have to get old. Old is a state of mind. I might have bursitis in my knee, but so what? I'm here. You're here. The longer we're here, the more we live. The more we live, the more our bodies, we have a car and we have to take care of it. We have to make sure that we're treating this body temple in the right and perfect way. So I had her work on this idea. I am ageless in spirit. And that the right and perfect guy was waiting for her to know that. Because if we're holding an idea that is not the truth of spirit, then we're not allowing others to come to us who would know that as well. Instead, she was drawing men to her who fulfilled her faith that they were going to leave her. So they were like a moth to a flame. They came to her and then they left. She cast these men and they played their parts perfectly. Who are you casting in your life? Who did you bring on and say, oh, please play this role? And you hand them the script, they go, okay. Sure. If you don't see you for the powerful, eternal, perfect self that you are, then nobody can. Because you're putting out that role. You've created a false role for yourself. It's magical to see an actor become totally the other, isn't it? And then back to themselves 2 hours later. It's fun when you're at the stage door and somebody walks out and nobody recognizes them. Oh, that was a lead. Oh, wow. Or the Downton Abbey people in their real life, 21st century life. Amazing. You can see I'm having a really difficult time letting go of Downton Abbey. I'm just in grief right now. I'm working through it. But too many of us received a role from our family or society, and we ourselves play that role to the hilt. And then we get mad at them because we're playing the role they assigned to us. Instead, we say, no, that's not my role. Thank you very much for offering, but I refuse to play that anymore. That is not who I am. So our faith determines much of how we live our lives here on the planet. What do I believe about my life? What do I believe it can be? What do I believe it has to be? What do I believe is the truth about me and my life? Well, that is what you're living, what you believe it to be. Now, during the time that Peter is denying knowing his best friend in the world, Jesus is being questioned by the Roman governor of the area, Pontius Pilate. Now, Pilate is rather detached from what he considers to be an internal matter of the Jewish priests and this man that for some reason they don't seem to like. So he begins asking Jesus, well, who are you? What are you doing here? What's this all about? And why did the temple priests seem to have it out for you? Pilate says, what did you do? And Jesus said, I came to the world, I was born to testify to the truth. And then Pilate has one of the most amazing and fascinating questions in all of Scripture. What is truth? And then the writer cuts away and we don't hear. Like, what? Go back. I want to hear the answer. But we don't get the answer, which is really fascinating. This is really good stuff. I want to know what's being said. And exactly who was taking notes here? Is there a writer under the bench going, oh, this is really good stuff? Again, John was writing, he's the last of the gospel writers. He was writing about 100 years or so after this all happened. And he's the only one that gave us this scene, so it's doubtful it happened in this way. We know the Romans really were the ones who killed Jesus, not the Jews. So John was giving us a whole agenda on another level altogether. But still, the question is really important. What is truth? What is this truth we're talking about? In our New Thought metaphysical teachings, we believe that truth is the revelation of the creative spirit to the created beings that we are. It's spirit revealing itself as us, saying, this is who you are. You are divine. You forgot. You forgot you have the power within you to have whatever kind of life you want to have. The earliest version we have of that is Moses in the burning bush. There wasn't a bush burning. It was Moses having a spiritual awakening and seeing light, like Paul on the road to Damascus, and hearing, what is God? I am that I am. So I am is the name of God, and I am is your true identity. And how are we applying that? Are you saying, I am always sick? I get 3 colds a year. I am always sick in the winter. Then we're saying, God within me, this is the kind of life I want to have. I am always broke. I can't make any money here. Uh-oh. We're calling forth our divinity to say, this is a limitation I want in my life. Instead of saying, well, my bank account says so-and-so, but I know the truth. I am prosperous. Mike Todd, the great producer, said, I've been broke many times, but I've never been poor. It's a temporary condition. Truth is the unchanging universal principle that we are one with God, creative spirit, universe, first cause, love, light, whatever name for God works, is great. God doesn't care because God's not a person to care. God is the energy of the universe. God doesn't have emotions about that. God has no emotions because God's not a person sitting in the sky watching you. God doesn't care about that stuff. So we have spiritual truth and we have planetary facts. They're very different. A fact of your life might be that you have a disease that seems to have no cure. The truth is you are powerful and that wholeness is in your DNA. That's the spiritual truth of you. No matter how you're feeling, no matter what you're going through, you are a powerful being of light. The fact might be that you're out of work right now, and it doesn't seem to be any coming forth. The truth reveals that there is no lack of abundance for divine creation. That even if you're not working, the money will be there as you open yourself up to it. You say, God, I am open and receptive, bring it on. Your right employment is moving toward you if that's something that you want. The timing might not be the way you want to see it, but know that it's happening. The fact might be that your partner left you. The truth is you are beautiful, unique, loving, worthy, and hot. Yes. Why? Because you're pure love. These are all qualities of divine love, and you are divine love in the flesh. So we have to know that even if you go somewhere and it doesn't seem to be, nobody else seems to know that. So affirm with me, I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
Oh my God. This is the day. I am beautiful. In the theater we call it giving you a line adjustment. I am beautiful. Together.
I am beautiful.
I am loving.
I am loving.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am hot.
I am hot.
Okay. I believe in you. I believe in you. And you might not be accepting of that truth at that moment and defaulting to a current fact. There are people that you would walk by, and if they simply believe the truth of who they are, they become hot. They become beautiful. I knew a woman, she's a minister. She's still a minister. And if you would just look at her, you wouldn't think that she was probably the most beautiful woman you've ever seen. But because of the spirit within her, she is gorgeous. She is literally hot. Because she has this light emanating from her that you're just so attracted to. So it has nothing to do with your physicality. It has to do with your heart, your spirit. It has to do with you and what you believe you are. So there may be a current fact going on that you would say, oh, this is not hot, who would love this? You might be eating a lot of carbs right now. So there's a lot more of you to love at the moment. There's a lot more hotness to you. You may be skipping workout. It's a softer hot. Okay. You may not have bought any new clothes since Bush was president. I'm talking about the old Bush. You may not be honoring the divine, beautiful self you are with grooming the way you used to. And you know, it's all perfectly fine if you're perfectly fine with it. If it's okay with you, then that's great. That's absolutely wonderful. So, love your carb-infused self. Celebrate it. Celebrate who you are because you created this. Nobody else did. Nobody forced you to eat all those ding-dongs. You did. So there's more of you to love. Now, if you want to see it differently, do it differently. If you want to stay that way, great, wonderful. Love that you. If you want to change it, great. Go within and ask, what do I need to do to reform this? It's your life. What other people think of your full-figured self is none of your business. None of, whatever the people are thinking, everybody's going to always have an opinion of you. I'm reading a biography about Maggie Smith right now. Brilliant actress. I think she's one of the most wonderful actresses I've ever seen. The reviews that she gets are just astonishing. Some people are raving about her, other people just hate her. Do you think Maggie cares? Maggie Smith does not care what people think of her because she's having a great time in her life. She's doing what she's here to do. The truth of you is you are loved by creative spirit herself. I use the word herself because I believe God is much more feminine and giving birth to what we are than masculine. God is both masculine, feminine, male, female energy. But the process of the divine creation, of divine birth, is the female aspect of spirit. So there's not a thing you need to do or can do to make yourself any more you than you are right now. You're perfect, again, meaning complete, nothing missing from you. If you want a different body, a different home, a different career, a different mate, no, the one you're with is perfectly wonderful and terrific. I love you, sweetie. No need to change that one. Right? Oh my God. Please say right to the person you're saying. You're sitting there. This is very disturbing to me. He's sitting there looking at me going, well, maybe I need to bring that within. Perhaps you need a different look at your financial belief system. You have the power in you to change whatever you want to change. It's up to you. To say, I'm going to do this differently, and then go to your heart. Go to your heart. And listen. That's true prayer. Going to your heart and listening is true prayer. It's you and God. That's it. So, do you believe it's true? Do you believe what you're hearing is the truth? Do you believe what you're going through is simply a spiritual journey and just a temporary fact and not the complete truth of who you are? And do you have faith to keep going toward your good? If you're an artist here, that can be really difficult. If you're looking for a new job, that can be tricky. Keep believing that you're here by divine appointment. Keep knowing this is not a mistake for you to be here. You did not mess up. You're supposed to be here doing what you're doing. No matter how long it may take. This is part of the spiritual journey that you're on. Again, faith is believing what we receive in our hearts as being the truth, regardless of what our senses are not picking up yet. The truth is, your life is wonderful, and you need to keep affirming that truth until it shows up. Palm Sunday is a preparation for the divine/human journey that is so scary and so exhilarating all at once. The result is that you have a life that is truly, uniquely, powerfully, perfectly, and authentically yours. To live however you want to live it. It's up to you. You get to say what your life is. If other people are telling you what it is, stop listening to them. Don't let it into your consciousness anymore. The truth is, you are prosperous, you are healthy, you are successful, you are beautiful, you're hot, you're all those things all at once.
Amen.
Amen. Breathe in. Let go.